Do I think that crypto or Bitcoin will one day replace the currencies of today? No. Do I think that the decentralization of everything is a good thing? Maybe not. But do I still invest in crypto anyway? Yes, just in case. Let me explain. The crypto space has been around for a while now, and I would say I've been pretty heavily involved compared to the normal person, at least over the last 5 years, so I kind of know what's going on. So today I thought that I'll share my thoughts on crypto. I will cover what's going on with the crypto space right now, why I'm still not fully convinced by it, but why I still invest my money anyway. Also, I'll share with you guys some options on how you can invest in crypto if you're interested in it. And one of those options is to use a crypto exchange like Luno. They're one of only 5 regulated crypto exchanges in Malaysia, and in my opinion at least, they're the best option for Malaysians. You can invest in the popular cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum and Solana, and there's also a few more options. They also have some handy functionalities like setting up DCA, so it's a lot easier for us if you want to set up auto investments. If you guys want to sign up, you can use my code, I'll leave it here, and you'll get 50 ringgit worth of Bitcoin once you deposit and buy 250 ringgit in crypto. So what's happening in the crypto world right now? Most of you guys should know that crypto, especially over the last 1 year, it's been making major moves. To be honest, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the fact that Bitcoin has already recovered by so much after the last bear market, because that was kind of brutal. And I also thought that, I never thought that some altcoins like Solana would ever come back to these kind of levels. I used to be a big user of Solana and I used to hold quite a bit of Solana, but once it dropped to below $10 or something like that, I thought it was over and it was never coming back. It was just a common thing in crypto, a token would pump and then it will come back down, and then it would just never revisit its all-time highs. But as of the time that I'm recording this video, it's trading at over $100, meaning if you bought it below $10, you would make more than 10x your money in less than 1 year. So obviously, maybe I just don't know what I'm saying. Even Big Brother Bitcoin, which is I guess the most popular crypto out there, it has been making some major moves as well. 1 year ago, one Bitcoin was trading at 106,000 ringgit, whereas today it's trading at over 240,000 ringgit. That's a 130% move in just a year, which to me, even in the crypto space, is kind of big. It's getting closer to its all-time highs, which is 69,000 US dollars. I personally think that it will get there, I just don't know when. So what's happening and what's causing these moves? To me, there are 2 major important events that is pretty much driving the price of Bitcoin upwards. Firstly, it is the ongoing talks and finally the approval of the Bitcoin ETFs. So this one, I guess, has been going on for a very long time. People are saying, Bitcoin needs a spot ETF. And finally, on the 10th of January 2024, the Securities Exchange Commission in the US approved, I think, 10 or maybe a bit more Bitcoin ETFs to start trading in the US stock markets. This to me is a big moment for crypto, because now it's just way easier for any investor out there to start investing in crypto. So, previously you had to use a crypto exchange like Luno just to invest in Bitcoin, but now you can just use your broker that you currently use to invest in any other stock or ETF out there. And apparently this is, positive for Bitcoin, because in just 1.5 or 2 months, there's been a net inflow of $3 billion US into these ETFs alone. To be honest, even I'm considering to invest in Bitcoin via these ETFs, because it's just a lot easier to use something like Interactive Brokers. At least I will have everything in one place. All of my investments will be sitting with Interactive Brokers. I can see my stocks, my ETFs, and now even Bitcoin. If I wanted to rebalance, if I wanted to add more to Bitcoin, if I want to sell more Bitcoin and add it to stocks, I can do it all with just one platform. So yeah, if you guys want to use Interactive Brokers to invest in Bitcoin ETFs, you can use my link, I'll leave it down below. The biggest Bitcoin ETF right now is the one by BlackRock, and the ticker symbol is IBIT. This is pretty much your second option if you want to invest in crypto, but right now, if you want to do it in the traditional finance market, then your only option will be Bitcoin. If you want to invest in other coins like Ethereum, Solana, all those other stuff, then you will have to use a crypto exchange like Luno, like I was talking about earlier. The second reason that I think that Bitcoin is making such a major move right now is that the next halving event is coming. For those of you guys who don't know, the halving event is basically when the rewards for mining Bitcoin gets halved. Now that I say it out loud, it sounds pretty obvious, but yeah, I won't get into too much detail about what this halving event is, because then some of you guys might get bored. So yeah, if you want to know more about this halving event, just Google it. There's so much information online. But yeah, this halving event happens every 4 years, and the next time it's going to happen is just in a few months' time. But why does this matter? First, it means that the amount of new Bitcoin being produced is going to be reduced permanently. This is the entire premise of Bitcoin. There is a finite supply of 21 million Bitcoin that will be in circulation. It will never go more than that. So, every time these halving events happen, the production of new Bitcoin, I guess I would say, will get halved until eventually one day in the far, far, far future, there will be no more new Bitcoin to be mined anymore because we've hit the cap of 21 million. But the more significant impact of this halving event, to me at least, is that every time in the past that this has happened, it has led to a major bull market in the crypto space. So yeah, it's only happened 3 times, but every time that has happened in the past, it led to a more than 100% move in Bitcoin 1 year after the Bitcoin halving happened. And you know, I saw the same story back in 2020 because back then was when I really just started investing. I saw this story in 2020, you know, they said that, you know, once the halving happens, Bitcoin is going to moon. And I didn't believe it. I thought it was just a coincidence. There's no way that, you know, just one halving event will lead to a bull market. But you know what happened? 1 year after the last halving, Bitcoin went up by more than 500%. But I would say that, you know, if you want to invest in Bitcoin just because of this, then, you know, be very careful because it's only been 3 times, right? It's not like some hard data that we can reliably trust. And there's also a lot of other things that factor into the price movement of Bitcoin. It's not just this. It could still be a coincidence. So yeah, it's like a fun thing to see, but I would say don't invest in Bitcoin just because of this. Having said all of this, I'm still not a firm believer of crypto and Bitcoin in the future. To me, I just don't see it being a currency that, you know, we will use in our day-to-day transactions. To me, it's just another asset class that we can invest in, just like gold. Now that I said that, I have to, you know, defend Bitcoin a bit because I know some people will say that, you know, at least gold has an intrinsic value. It's physical, it's tangible, we can see it, and we can use it in jewelry and stuff like that, whereas Bitcoin is just magic internet money. But in my opinion, you know, gold is still being valued higher than its use. So because people, you know, people see gold as an inflation hedge, and even in some cases, people see it as an alternative currency. If we didn't put this amount of, you know, importance to gold and we just valued it just like any other commodity out there, then I just don't think that gold would be priced this high. Anyway, unlike some of the crypto folks that you might see online who say, you know, if you're holding US dollar or Malaysian ringgit, one day you will die poor because it's all going to crash, I just don't see it happening. Whether it's a good thing or not, the power of governments worldwide nowadays is just way too strong, and I just don't see how they will allow us to switch to a new currency like Bitcoin. How can we move to a new currency where, you know, some random guy who's running a software company called MicroStrategy controls nearly 1% of the entire supply of Bitcoin? I mean, good for him. He made a lot of money. He made the right call. And if he wanted to sell his Bitcoin right now, he would make, you know, billions of dollars worth of profits. But I just don't see how governments will allow us to switch to a new currency where some random person already controls so much of it. Also, the Bitcoin network is just in no shape to take on the number of transactions that we do on a daily basis. We can't even compare the speed of the Bitcoin network to what we're currently using, which is like, you know, Visa and MasterCard, who's used to handling millions and even billions of transactions every single day. And to me, if we ever get into a doom scenario, like let's say the USD completely collapses, it's worth 0 now, nobody wants to use it anymore, the more likely scenario if that happens is that we go back to a barter system where, you know, I trade 1 cow for gold or something like that, rather than, you know, people switching to something like Bitcoin. And then there's a part about decentralization. So, you know, I get its benefits, I know why it can be useful in some cases, but I really think it's just a buzzword that everyone in the industry just started to use, you know. There's a reason that certain areas in our life are centralized. It makes things easier, and it's just way more efficient to centralize some aspects of our lives. If we try and take everything decentralized, then, you know, in my opinion, it's just a step backwards. People also say that, you know, governments are just printing money out of thin air, we can't trust them, and they're right, you know, governments are printing money out of thin air. But if any of you have been in the decentralized finance space or DeFi, then you would know that even in the crypto space, people print money out of thin air. You can leverage your investments massively, and you can supply so much more in crypto than you ever had in the first place anyway. To me, investing in businesses via things like stocks and ETFs is still the best way to go forward if you want to invest your money. Even if, let's say, one day I was wrong, you know, USD completely collapses and Bitcoin somehow takes over. The thing is, even in this scenario, companies will still be the same. Apple will still be Apple, Shopee will still be Shopee. The only difference would be that, you know, maybe instead of selling the iPhone in US dollars, they will now sell the iPhone in Bitcoin. But the fact is, we will still be buying iPhones. You know, so because we're buying so much iPhones, because Apple is making a profit in Bitcoin, they will still be a valuable company. So this to me is the most logical approach to take if you want to invest your money. Even if, let's say, you were really afraid that the USD, the monetary system, all fiat currencies will one day collapse, You can just invest in companies because companies will still be the same. Just don't hold so much in cash, and you don't have to go all into Bitcoin just because of this. But this is where I'm flexible with my stance. So just because I don't think that Bitcoin will be as big as everyone says it's going to be, doesn't mean that I don't invest in crypto. For one, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just missing something huge, or I don't even put so much time and effort into diving deep into Bitcoin, learning its history, learning what it's meant to be. So yeah, maybe I am missing something, and in case I was wrong, at least I have some crypto with me. But the major reason that I'm still investing in crypto, even though I don't believe in its long-term future, is that it makes me money, and if it's going to outperform, then I want to be invested. For me, having something like 5 to 10% of my portfolio allocated to crypto is comfortable, and I'm willing to accept it. Even if, let's say, it goes to zero, at least I won't lose so much because I'm not allocating so much. But if it continues to do what it's been doing over the last 10 years, then I will still make quite a bit of money just because the movements are so large. Maybe I won't make as much money as the average guy who says he's 80 or 100% in crypto, but I will still be making some money. There's also a study that was done on the impact of adding Bitcoin to your portfolio, and to me this makes a lot of sense. This study though was done in 2020, and the period that it covered was 2014 to 2020, so it might be a bit outdated, but at least to me the concept remains the same. Basically, the study shows that if you add a small allocation of your portfolio to Bitcoin, anything less than 5%, then you will do very well. So the returns of your investments will go up by around 1 to 5% depending on how much you put into Bitcoin. But the major benefit is that your maximum drawdown, or how much money you would lose in a bear market, will stay roughly the same just because your Bitcoin allocation is so small. So this to me makes a lot of sense, and whether I believe in Bitcoin or not, the math just doesn't lie. If I can earn an extra few percent every single year without taking on too much extra risk, then it's a no-brainer and I'm gonna do it, right? The key is just not to over-allocate or over-invest into Bitcoin, because if you do that, then any price movements in Bitcoin, which can be very wild, will then have a big impact on your portfolio, and you might lose sleep over it overnight. So yeah, just find that right balance. I would say anywhere between 1 to 5%, that's a good amount to have invested into crypto. So this is something that I've been doing and maintained over the last 5 years, and it's been doing very well for me just because crypto has continued to go up. Even if one day, let's say, it stops going up so much, or even worse, it starts to decline, at least I won't lose so much money because I've controlled how much money I put into crypto. Sometimes you guys will see me make, tweets or IG stories or stuff like that, talking about me getting into NFTs, airdrop farming, DeFi, stuff like that. But just know that to me, those are purely trades. My only real long-term investing into crypto is via Bitcoin. So my logic for this is that, even though Bitcoin is considered the blue chip in the crypto industry, just because crypto as a whole is already so volatile and the returns are already so high, I would accept just taking the blue chip and just invest in that. Also because I think Bitcoin has the highest chance of success in the entire crypto space. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about crypto. To be honest, my view of this is pretty neutral. So if you're someone who either really supports or really hates Bitcoin, then you probably don't agree with what I say. But hey, I'm just here to make money. I'm not here to change the world with a new currency or anything like that. And if you want to invest in crypto, then check out Luno if you want to do it the traditional way. Funny how Luno is the traditional way to do things. But yeah, if you want to do it the traditional way, then check out Luno. But if you want an easier option, then check out Interactive Brokers. I'll leave the links to both of those down below. Anyway, thanks for watching this video to the end, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and drop this video a huge like. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.